Hey, what's up, everybody? So let's talk about handhelds. So as you can see, I have this is the new edition Game Boy Color. I had a purple indigo one to match my purple indigo GameCube, but I got this one for a steal. I actually like this color. This is like a teal. But anyway, I feel like handhelds back in the day were the best. I know there's fond memories of people out there, especially my generation, 90s, 2000s, car rides, long car rides, Pokemon battles, the whole you name it. And I feel like handheld, Nintendo perfected the handheld gaming genre. I mean, you had Sega that tried, but Nintendo did it best. I mean, it all started with the original Game Boy. Now, this is the color one, but it all started with the original Game Boy. Till you got something like this, a Nintendo Switch, now the Steam Deck or whatever, but they perfected it. It all started with that Game Boy. And this is my whole love for the Game Boy. I really do not have a Game Boy Advance. I don't really need the Game Boy Color, but the Game Boy Color for me is just so nostalgia personified. And I got plans for this Game Boy. I'm not going to keep it like this. I'm going to put a backlit screen. I'm probably going to change the case to the Pokemon one to match Pokemon N64 right here. They got one with the colors. Instead of being blue and yellow, it's going to be yellow and blue, but it will match perfectly with it. But I thought I'd talk about my long story. Let me talk about my handheld collection, the handheld systems that I got. Alright, to start off, this is my handheld collection. It grew over the years. It all started with this one. This is my Game Boy Advance Custom. I got this for a great deal. As you can see, it already has the backlit screen, custom paint job, Oreo, or custom shell, great picture, great sound. It also has the battery pack to recharge it, so those need batteries. This is the first thing that actually got me into start recollecting for the handhelds. Hey, the picture is great. I love playing Fire Red on here. That's what I'm playing right now. Next one up, Sony PSP. This actually was giving Nintendo a run for his money back in the day. I actually love the PSP. It had a lot of features that the Nintendo didn't have. You could watch movies on it. Had basic internet access. It was starting out. The graphics were amazing. I mean, the graphics was up par with almost PS2. It was like in between PS1 and PS2 graphics. Had the little VMUs. I have none in here. And it was just nice and compact. It even came with its own little analog stick. They came with a couple versions of this. This was a fun little handheld device. The battery life wasn't the best, but the games for it were amazing. This was a great little handheld. It still is a great little handheld. Then Sony followed that with the PS Vita. The PS Vita didn't use the little VMUs or whatever. It used actual cartridges. And this right here, this is my first time actually owning a Vita since it was released. I never really owned one. I actually brought this one a little while ago, last year. The game is actually pretty good. I enjoy the games. The graphics are amazing. This is really good consoles. You know, that kid's the touchpad, the analog sticks. This is really fun. This is a great follow for the PSP, but unfortunately, Sony, I feel like didn't market these things right. That's why they didn't go that well. But these were definitely giving Nintendo a run for his money. But of course, Nintendo reclaimed the crown, and you already know what this is. This is the DS Lite. I actually never had a DS Lite. I actually had the DS 3D, which to me was the better one. But this one I got super clean, great, online. The DS was just an amazing handheld, hands down, one of my favorite handhelds. The only one that matches this one is the Nintendo Switch. This was a great handheld back in the day, especially now this one had the camera. Nintendo's always did really good with their products or their handheld products. Even to this day, like, I had issues trying to set this one up. They still was able to help me set this up years later. Great little system. And in case everybody asks, this is actually a display case from GameStop. This is for like their little Amiibos cases, whatever, Amiibo display case. But instead of using it for Amiibos, it fit perfectly with the handhelds. There's lights that light up, but they die fast. So I don't know if I got the defective unit or not. But it's great to have your handhelds on display, prevents them from falling, and I don't know, it just looks cool. And I try to keep the more cooler ones, special ones there. And as you see, the Game Boy Advance, they had to come out with the Game Boy Advance SP. This is just a smaller version of that. This has a backlit screen. These used to always go bad with these. They always used to click, but this one is actually pretty good. And yeah, it's a nice small factor you can put in your pocket. This one I'm replacing the case on this one. This one's gonna get modded as well because it's kind of beat up. So it's definitely gonna get some work done too. And unfortunately, I don't have a stand for the SP yet. I'm actually printing one now. I'm actually printing one in blue. So hopefully that'll be done in an hour or so. But yeah, this is my little handheld collection. I would get a Sega Game Gear because I had that back in the day. If I can find one for a great price, those things are kind of shooting up in price lately. But the main thing I'm actually happy I got that. That's bringing back so much memories. I can't wait till I start modding that. But anyway, that's my little retro handheld collection. And I forgot to tell real quick to talk about the video games for this collection. So for the Game Boy Advance, I got numerous games. My two favorite games for the Game Boy Advance is going to be Pokemon Fire Red and Golden Sun. Golden Sun is an amazing RPG. I'm actually playing Golden Sun on my GameCube. Can you see right there? I got the GameCube adapter so I can play Game Boy Advance games, which is great. I got it because the most expensive part is this damn disc. I mean, there's other ways around it, but I like original. So anyway, right here is my PS Vita. Games are really good, but my favorite game right now I'm playing is Batman Origin Blackgate. This was actually a great Batman game. I'm actually having fun. And then for my DS collection, my favorite game is actually Brain Age, believe it or not. I actually play that on the daily almost. And then if anybody asks, these holders that I have is stuff that I 3D printed. I like to have my stuff on display, and I want them to be actually kind of safe, so I 3D printed these. For the Game Boy Advance ones, these are great. These hold them in place. They don't fall out. This top one's probably going to fall out. I didn't put it in properly, Fire Red. But yeah, they hold them in place, and they're really good. If you have a 3D printer, definitely put it to work, especially if you're a retro collector, and make some stuff. Like, most of the stuff in here I made with my 3D printer, and it will save you tons of money. Anyway, that's my handheld collection. Later, guys.